show. So I had a chance to listen to the new album, that
Yeah.
the preview, and it's really good.
Awesome.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I actually went through and gave myself some little notes to go through all the songs because
Okay.
all right. So honest review, I think this is probably as good an album as the first one and 15. It's right up there. It's a top tier album. I don't know what's different about it. All the songs are different. I think there's a swagger to it. Here's what I think it is.
Well, here. All right. Go ahead. What do you think it is?
I'm thinking, yeah, you know the answer. I think the two guitars play together differently because the energy and it's a different setup now, but they
Yeah.
work so well together. They complement each other
Yeah.
in a very like Aerosmith and the Stones and all those bands. The guitars work together. GNR, they play different things, but they work together. That's what I'm hearing on this album. Doesn't
Yeah.
sound like them, but it's
Well, there's a couple things different on this. A few different things on this album, but yeah, I think we made a conscious effort to keep it a rock and roll album. Not that
it
we
is.
haven't in the past. We were working with Marty Fredrickson, who's kind of the sixth member of Aerosmith, uh, and has written a lot of songs for them
Mhm.
and a lot of other people. Um, Very successful. And I just think that we Josh and I and Marty as a writing unit, we really hit a stride right away. We had written 20 some songs before we went in,
Mhm.
and we took some time to, since COVID was the quarantining was happening. We took some time, went to Nashville, and really crafted a bunch of songs, and we were really clear on how we wanted each song to sound. You know, so yeah, I think the guitar work. Um, I think we also wanted to keep it in the spirit of 70s Aerosmith,
Yes.
70s AC/DC. You know what I mean? Uh, Maybe 70s Rolling Stones. So though it had those elements, but there's also, you know, uh, 70s Sex Pistols. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well, the
I, I
first one
think
is like that.
I think keeping those things in mind, we accomplished a lot.
It's so good, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I think when I walked away, it's like I think it's the guitar play. I mean,
Yeah,
Josh, he's a good singer. He's always flawless. When he does a ballad, he sings it heartfelt. I mean, he's always spot on. So
yeah,
it's always as consistent.
yeah,
So the music's a little different in the band, and I think it's the guitar play on this one that really kind of the way it weaves
yeah.
back and forth on this one.
Yeah,
Um,
and as I think it's a little bit more refined this time around too. Um, I wasn't, like I wasn't crafting solos to just, to shred. I was
yeah.
crafting, most players in rock that are in a band that is I think if you're not a Joe Bonamassa or somebody that gets a whole song or extended to craft and create,
Hmm.
uh, a lead and all that. Most guys only get 4 8 bars. You know what I mean? So what I did was kind of really played for the song, but like peppering in, like new licks I've learned throughout
The year.
the
It,
year.
it's it is good. I mean, so was Billy part of this?
Yeah, yeah. He wasn't as part of it as much as I would have liked, but he's also coming in at the 11th hour. You know
Right,
what I mean?
which you did at one point. You were the new kid at one point with the guitar for later writing songs.
I was the new kid 15 years ago.
Yeah, but at one point you were the new kid coming in. The other guy was writing all the songs on guitar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know what it's like. But you guys sound good together. I'm excited to see you guys play live. That's gonna be
Yeah,
great. The album,
I think there's a lot of there's a lot of I think we spent a lot of time just jamming in the garage here, and It really works well together. I think we come from the same school. I think um, he covers a lot of the areas that I don't, as far
Yeah,
as slide playing. Um, and, like he's really got the Joe Perry thing down. So,
it feels more in the pocket. You
he's
know,
in, he's super in the pocket. He's super Malcolm. Um, Yeah, and he's just a rock and roll fan. He's a historian, and he's especially with rock and roll guitar, what I mean?
yeah, he's
He gets
ridiculous.
it, and yeah, we love him. He's awesome.
This album here is the album I was talking about. I'm like everybody has to come out from COVID on their best album. So
What's that?
congratulations, you guys are the first ones out of the gate that I've heard that has
Okay, yeah,
justifying the COVID album. I tell you, man. So I wrote. So I'll go through the steps here. Some of the tracks. All right.
yeah,
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
yes,
That I would probably call your Sex Pistols song. One word: supersonic. It's just crazy. The energy's crazy. It's fun.
yeah. It's a high energy. Um, Marty. We were just talking about creating. But before we start a song, he just like talk about the energy, and he also said, he told me it all starts with a beat. The beat's got to be solid. So sometimes we
Hmm.
go into songs um, before we even address the riff. We'd spend a couple hours on just the right beat, the coolest beat. I know that sounds um, a little much, but
No, actually, that was actually in my notes of some of the songs about the drumming in the rhythm in this
yeah.
album.
Well, yeah. I mean,
You feel it.
we would first program, and then we would send them off to Francis and to Kelly and to Billy. And what would happen over the span of 2020, they would be getting songs one at a time, a group at a
Hmm.
time, and then make it their own. So we would send out the skeleton. They would give it flesh and a personality. You know what I mean? But it would all start with the beat, and that's like for a live band, that's the most important, one of the most important things. Like,
Oh
are
yeah.
people gonna dance to it? Are they gonna move to it? Does it move them? You know what I mean? So, and I think it works.
Oh,
Like,
this album. Yeah.
yeah,
It's like a nice pair of jeans, like your favorite pair of jeans. It's just it fits right. You know what it is. It's Buckcherry. It's Buckcherry. It's a you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So, that song is like I said. It's crazy. It's fun energy. It's a good song.
yeah.
So then
Uh, the next one is so hot, and
yeah.
that's one I wanted to key in on. We're doing a video for that one at the end of the month. I'm
Okay.
here to tell you. Um, my manager called me right before this, and he was like, "Yeah, talk about like I'm here to let you know that we're filming at the end of the month. It'll probably be released in March." Now the caveat is this all hinges on what's going on with COVID,
Yeah.
and if the numbers, God willing, go down, um, then they will start booking. They will start with the release dates.
Yeah.
So that'll be probably like summer, and then they'll back it up with promotion, marketing, strategy, and booking tours.
I get
So,
that.
um, but the marketing is the marketing or promoting on social media will start in March. So that's when So Hot will be released in March.
Okay. That is awesome. This is one of the songs you can do 10 songs, 10 singles. If you have to just do some of those lyric videos, I'm telling you, man.
That might be. It's funny you should say that because we might be doing that.
No,
Because
seriously. I mean, they're all standalone songs.
yeah, I mean, and that's another thing we're striving for is like an album filled with songs that were awesome all on their own.
Mhm.
So Mitch LaFont.
It's good when you're going to work and you pull up and you pull up in your car. Sorry, you pull up and you listen to the album. You have like 1 or 2 songs left, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna be late for work. Well, I'll
Yeah,
be late for work then. And then like there you go. That's the litmus test for it, right?
yeah,
It's and So Hot is a rock. It is a straight out. It's
yeah.
a rock song. It's rock and roll, and it's
The whole,
Buckcherry.
the whole album, in my opinion, there's one slow one, but it's not. I'd say it's not like Sorry. You know what I
No,
mean? But it's
no.
more like it's more like Hey Jude. You know what I
Right.
mean?
It is. It's we'll get to that. That one. So Hellbound, that one feels almost that it has much more of the 70s bluesy guitar play feel to me.
Yeah,
It's great. It's still heavy. It still rocks,
yeah,
but it
yeah.
feels like it's got a little bit of a different the groove to that one is really strong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That's like if AC/DC and Aerosmith had a love child. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
we're out.
it's no, but it's good though. It doesn't sound like I said. That's the point. I mean, some bands
Yeah.
are just total ripoffs. If you
Coming from like from a guitar player standpoint,
yeah.
and then once it gets to Josh, it becomes Josh's, and it becomes
Mhm.
Buckcherry. No matter
Well, his
what he sings on, it becomes that's what
yes,
it,
I agree with you on that one.
it's
That
so
is his voice.
identifiable, and unique. So
And his voice is so strong. It is, a voice is an instrument, but his voice is like then two instruments then because, his range is so crazy.
yeah,
Um,
he's
so all right,
yeah,
Gun.
gone.
Same that one. That's once again that's kind of like Hellbound. Got that fun bouncy guitar in it to me. You know.
Yeah, that one's on the Aerosmith tip for sure.
Yeah.
Um, Evan Fredrickson played B3 on there, and that's Marty's son. Um, Billy on slide, of course. Um, what can I tell you? It's still steeped in that '70s rock and roll guitar rock.
Oh,
All that matters is what's your review. You know what I mean?
I think it's great. I think it's killer, man. Seriously, I couldn't wait to go back with you and do this interview. I was like, like when I heard it the first day, I was like, I can't wait to talk to you. Um,
Awesome.
so then, all right, here I come. That is just like a straight ahead rocker, man. That is just
Yeah, that's so. If you think of an album, we thought of it as a vinyl, like a vinyl release. So you're gonna
mhm.
have the first half on the first side, which is those first songs you mentioned, and then "Here I Come" leads off the second side. You know what I mean? That's why we put that rocker
All
right in
right.
the
I like
middle.
that.
Rockers usually end up as one of the first songs, but we had a few of them, so we started the second side of the vinyl with "Here I Come." That's one of my favorites. That's
Yeah.
and if you listen closely, um, it's on "Nevermind the Bullocks." I mean, I was listening to "Problems" off of
Hmm.
"Nevermind." The Bullocks, Sex Pistols, and that kind of just the vibe of that. It's like I want to do something like that, but maybe even a little faster. So
Yeah.
that's where the impetus for that is. You know,
It's great. It's actually that's one of the songs I was like, man, if this isn't in vinyl, this sounds like it's a vinyl album to me. I like to hear it in
yeah,
vinyl, the
yeah,
the frequencies on it, the crunch, the needle even going, the whole
yeah.
effect. I want to hold an album in my sweaty fingers.
Definitely, we're definitely pressing it as well. So
Good.
yeah,
Get some good artwork in there. Get some more life shots are always the best. Life on the road. Those are the best vinyl album covers.
we have a
Um,
guy illustrating some stuff for us right now, breaking through the barricades. So we'll see what he comes up with. But in the insert, um, yeah, we'll definitely.
band
You know,
photos and
if
lyrics.
it's live shots, though, don't you think that people would think it's a live album? I mean, I usually see live shots with live albums.
I think nowadays generationally nobody knows the difference. Like they don't think like that.
Yeah.
Don't you remember in the '70s? Grabbing the albums, and you just wanted the band because they're taking pictures because they're on tour writing the songs at the last minute. All the pictures of have the band were either shot for a magazine or on the road when they're half asleep on a couch. Or you know what I mean? Those are where they're getting pictures from because the record cycle.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Fair
And I
enough.
think people like live shots. I mean, look at your Instagram. Like, look at where the popular shots are you guys have. It's the guitar shots,
Well,
the
we have a lot
jumping.
of live shots because that's a convenience. We don't. We rarely. I don't remember the last time we were in a studio to shoot a photo. Well, we were on. Uh, We were on tour. I guess one of the shows this year. You know what? I stand corrected. One of the shows this year, we took some studio shots. But
Like at the Walmart, right? For the
yeah,
studio.
yeah, family.
That would be an insert right there. That's what you should do.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Buckcherry family photo from like Walmart and put it right in there. That would be hilarious.
Funny. Like I guess like if we were more on the Foo Fighters tip, it might be
Yeah.
funny.
I don't think it would go over well. It's funny. I mean, right
Yeah,
here it is funny, but in theory, that we're like, what the hell are you guys thinking about? It's a good serious rock record. It's not a it's good, and I think you're right. It belongs on vinyl.
yeah.
Um, Talking about beat driven songs, junk.
Don't did no wait that's gone. Don't
The rhythm drives that song. I mean, it's not you don't hear it over the guitars, but the rhythm of the guitars even plays that
yeah.
beat.
We definitely sat and mapped out a beat for that one. Marty Fredrickson is originally a drummer, so he was really tuned in to that and what beats are right. Because a lot of times I'm programming here just for demos,
Hmm.
obviously, and sometimes there are beats a drummer wouldn't necessarily do or fills. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where I kind of get tripped up. I'm a guitar player, so I don't think like that. But Marty, he definitely has his finger on the pulse. He knows, um, how to keep it simple or keep, get it intricate when it needs to be. So, and he knows what swings and what doesn't. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
the groove on that one is awesome. Um, as far as the soloing on that one, I believe I used the uh, I got I stopped at Jim Dunlop and Joey O hooked me up with a bunch of new stuff to try and a Submachine fuzz.
Yeah.
Uh, it's kind of like an Octavia, but it also has a strong low frequency that you can dial in and dial out. So, but yeah, that's when
It works with the song too. I mean, all the guitar sounds work perfectly with the rhythm. Like, everything just fits. It's like the perfect puzzle. You know.
I want to like I also want to do a big shout out to Damon Johnson. Um, he lent us a few amps just to try, like because we had some amps from Joe Perry over there, and
I've heard of him.
yeah, and then there
He plays
was
guitar, right?
two that we did it at Quad or Sienna Studios, and we were using a bunch of amps there, and then we used. And then Damon, Marty's friends with Damon. He's like, "Hey, you want to try this Marshall Plexi?" I think it was a 70, maybe it was a metal face. I don't know.
Hmm.
Metal front. Um, but we tried a Plexi, an old Super Lead, and then we tried two Silver Jubilees, and those Jubilees are just awesome. That was my amp of choice for a long time. But anyway, so and they can straddle the heavier stuff we do, and then you just dial down all the gain, and then songs like "Ain't Wasting No More Time" it fits for that. I know that we used some Vox type amps for um, "No More Lies." You know what I mean? And that's kind of our Zeppelin, Jamaica kind of vibe song. You know?
Yeah, it was actually so good. You're hitting all the guitar stuff. I would have gone back over, so you kind of already gotten it along the way. So good. Um, Wasting No More Time. Not a ballad,
No,
but not a rocker. It's almost like a Southern rock, Louisiana slow cooker, I guess. I was thinking about it. I'm like, I don't even know where to put it because it's not fast. It's a jammy, not Skinner, but it's kind of got that real.
no. I mean, it's a mid tempo. I'd say more adult contemporary kind of song, but it's not
Oh, I
adult.
wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
But it's
Don't ever say that.
you know, I would say it's in the wheelhouse of Tom Petty, Neil Young, something.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I give it
You know,
that.
this is the song where we're blatantly saying Buckcherry is getting older and getting older gracefully. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
not just trying to be the same band we were 15 years ago.
Well,
So
you've proved you still can do it though in the other songs though. So
yeah,
it's not like
yeah. I mean,
you're not.
I mean, we still can do it, but we want to show range that we can grow as writers.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, this is as strong as your first
Also,
album.
like I think for us, this is also part of the spectrum of music that we like. You know what I mean? Like we
Mhm.
also, like you mentioned in another interview about Prince and all that,
Yep.
and the more funky kind of influence. But this is also, we love anything from Tom Petty to Neil Young, even John Cougar. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
The spectrum is wide. So
I get that. It's it's good. I mean, it makes the albums fun. Yeah, it's cohesive that way. The songs are different, but it's a cohesiveness.
yeah.
Yeah, I heard it kind of a southerny ballad type of thing, which is kind of the way I consider southern rock is kind of what I consider Tom Petty, and I like Tom Petty, so it's kind of
Florida,
right
right?
right on. The way is pretty much the ballad when you're talking about pretty
Yeah,
much a strong piano, strong voice, a lot of emotion in his voice. That's you.
yeah. The
You the
the
man. You the man. That was nice.
what? The piano, or I'm not
Yeah.
singing.
No,
Wrong.
no, I know that it's a piano.
Yeah, yeah.
That was you. It's a good thing. No, that piano is nice.
I'm the harmonica and gun, and I'm the piano in the way.
Yeah, that is. It's so good.
Cool.
Good job, man.
Yeah,
Would you go? Would you learn that piano playing?
that was written right here on the piano, right over there. Um, and I remember, like it was sometime. My dad passed in July, and it was just a late night around here, somber, and I was just kind of playing with different chords,
Hmm.
and I'm not a piano player, uh, but I can fake a little bit, and
You did a good job here.
yeah, and then it just kind of it came together pretty quickly, you know. And I've always listened to a lot of Beatles, so huge fan. So
It's so good. I mean, and I hear that as being like your if we're talking singles, old school. I mean, I could see it being like probably your third or fourth song in the summertime as things open up and you guys are out about.
yeah, I
That's a
know.
good outside song for people to be singing, and
Yeah, I think the early schedule is going to be So Hot as first, Ain't
yep,
Wasting No More Time is second, and Hellbound is third. So
I can hear that.
they'll all be
Yep,
singles and videos. So
those are great.
that's what they tell me, but that could be the coffee talking.
Well, maybe the way could be the fourth then. By the time it'll be, hopefully everything's be open.
You know? Who knows?
It's really good though. I mean, that would have been like your big, probably breakthrough ballady song on every album. I'm sure you didn't write it like it's a ballad because it's not really a ballady, like the other songs. It's
Yeah,
just a really good.
yeah. I mean, who knows? Like I know that we also didn't want to I don't know, keep doing the same things, that we did on the last few records, you know. So, but you are who you are, you know what I mean? And we were just writing songs, and that one came out, and we love
It's good.
it.
You guys write some really good ballads though. I mean, slow ballady songs. You guys write really good ones. So
Yeah. Well, thanks.
it's good to be good at something. The last song is actually Barricade, which is we're getting the title from too. That to me is like almost like an anthem song. Like that would be a good opening song for like
Yeah,
to start a show with. That is just so
that one's got
it's
like an arena chorus.
exactly yeah. I hear that it's like an arena, very like a chanty sing along. Like
Well,
it opens up.
I think they're all sing along, but that one
Oh,
for sure, I just the vibe of it isn't like an arena tune for sure. Um,
right at the chorus, I heard. Actually visualized. I'm like that would be an opening song. Like first thing I said when I heard that, I'm like that would be
yeah, yeah.
you
I
know
mean, and that one's got over. Like if you strip it down, that's super Beatlesy too, underneath. But
hmm
there's like we use big amps for that one, big drums. For the most part, we weren't going for a lot of gain like like some of the more recent albums have, or even Josh Todd in the conflict. We used almost no gain. We wanted the school of thought was ACDC barely cracks that open. You know what I mean? If you listen to
Yeah.
some Aerosmith records, they're not, it's not super gainy guitar tones, and
Yeah.
so it's kind of what we were going with. And more stuff, like you pan hard right and left, and then it gives so much more room for everything else. So
The best part is this is one of those albums that sounds really good in headphones. Like it,
yeah,
you get really, some albums are like good and they're like, or you got, it's like flat. This album is really just,
yeah, dynamic.
sonically, it's definitely a headphone. You can
Yeah,
hear all the different things.
our friend Anthony Fox, who helped out on 15, he's also still connected with Marty Fredrickson. All the while, we're going to shoot So Hot, Ain't Wasting No More Time, and Hellbound for March, April, May releases.
You all at once and lock them up.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, I think since we have the time, we'll shoot those at the end of this month and next month. All
Thanks,
right.
man.
Thanks,
We'll talk
Sean.
soon. All
All
right.
right.
Bye.